Hugo Broos has finally announced his 23-man squad. He's taking to Ivory Coast in the 34th edition of Afcon. We might not agree with a whole lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's his final decision. Now, there are some positives to the squad, but there's also some shocking exclusions. Let me start with the good ones. I think the inclusion of these three players, young players, is good for Bafana and is good for the future. Oswin Appollis has played brilliantly. If you watch some of the episode I've done, he was part of my best 11 in the first half of the PSL squad. Check out that episode and give me a comment on it. And then you have Thapelo Maseko, who's had a decent first 6 months at Mamelodi Sundowns. And you also have a Jayden Adams who's played very well for Steve Barker. You're talking about pace, and you're talking about brains, and you're talking about creativity in those three players. Appollis can give Mshishi or Zwane a run for his money, or can be his replacement if Mshishi Zwane doesn't make it for 90 minutes. Now, the shocking exclusions that I honestly really don't make sense to me. Number one, Hugo Broos came to South Africa and complained about the lack of South Africans that are playing abroad. Now in the 23-man squad, we only have 2 players playing abroad. We have Yaya Stolle playing in Portugal, and we also have Mayambela playing in Cyprus. And the ones who are playing in England and the ones who are playing in MLS have been excluded, and the reason is MLS stopped at the end of October, so these guys might not be fit enough to take with to Afcon. I honestly think that is unfair, because some of these other African nations will have some MLS players they will bring with to the tournament. Why not us? I mean, there's only 2 of them. It's Njabulo Blom, who plays for St. Louis, and Bongi Hlongwane, who plays for side in Minnesota. So I would have rather taken Njabulo Blom in place of Thabang Munare, who too has not really played a lot of matches for Orlando Pirates. And again, he complains that there's not a lot of South Africans playing abroad, but we do have a Sia Ngezane who's consistently been racking up performances and minutes for a side in the Premiership of Romania. I would have rather taken, because the CBC is not a starter in Bafana anyways, so I'd rather just take up someone younger, someone with overseas experience, as opposed to taking a CBC. Take a Siangezane in place of CBC. Why not? I don't have any complaints with the department in goalkeeping. Williams has a clear number 1. Velimota might be a number 2. I'm not sure, but Goss is a decent backup. I'm also to see a proper left back. For me, it was between a Basadin or a Mashiko as a backup to Modiba, because at this point in time, it appears as if Hugo Broos will be going with the Aubrey Modiba as his starter in that 11. So a Mashiko as a backup or even a starter, I'm happy with. And but we what are our chances really in this Afcon? What is our realistic chance of even progressing, let's say, to the quarters? Do we have a chance of making it to last 16? I think so. We have Tunisia to deal with, we have Mali to deal with, and we have a Peter Shalule's Namibia to deal with. If we don't make it for top 2 spots, can we be the best of 3 in these 6 groups? Because out of the 6 groups that are there, they will take the best of number 3 out of 4 groups. Can we make it? I think we can, because we cannot lose against Namibia. We have to beat Namibia, and then we have to see if maybe we can collect a point from Tunisia and Mali. But those sides are some decent sides who have a lot of players who are playing in France, in England. I mean, all over the place. Lyle Frosler. He's fit enough to play for Burnley, but he's not fit enough to feature for Bafana. We might not understand the complexion of everything that guy is going through, some mental health issues, and as it is, according to Burnley and Vincent Company, it's better for him to stay in England and Burnley to continue monitoring the situation of the boy. And I think we all want the best for Lyle Frosler. But if he's playing for Burnley, he could have also played for Bafana. But maybe the environment of coming back home, coming back to Africa might not be the best for Lyle Frosler. We wish him well and we want him to be healthy again, but there'll always be politics. Well, Hugo Broos sounded like he was very, very disappointed with Lyle Frosler writing a letter and saying they must not even consider him for the tournament. And it is what it is. We have to deal. And another exclusion, but I also understand why maybe he's not included, is Kanyisa Manyo, who plays for Cape Town City. I think is the top goal scorer or amongst the top goal scorers in our league, and he's not part of the squad. So he probably opted for a Lipasa and a Mokhopa because of size. We need a proper target man, and I think as things stand now, Evidence Mokhopa is a clear number 9, is a clear starter, with probably Mayambela, Mshishi, and Pesitao behind him. And then you'll have Yaya Stole and Tebogo Mkwena as double anchors. That's how Hugo Broos has played, or the formation is used ever since he came to Bafana. So it's a decent squad with a lot of South African-based players. There's about 10 Mamelodi Sundowns players. They will need all those Mamelodi Sundowns players to really contribute to the side. I mean, from training and really to psych up the mentality of all these players, because the experience Mamelodi Sundowns has acquired in playing in a CAF Champions League is big and it's very important for the tournament they are going to. I'm happy to see Thapelo Maseko in the squad because he's probably the most versatile player in the squad. He can play as a right back, he can play as a winger, he can play as an 8, he can play as a target man, he can play as a false 9. So it's good to have a Thapelo Maseko. When we are chasing games, you have a pace of Moreno, you have a pace of Maseko, you have a pace of Appollis and a skill. So Hugo Broos might be banking on playing counter-attack football, maybe when he's playing against Mali and Tunisia. So maybe that's why you have a Moreno, you have a Maseko, you have an Appollis in the squad. So we might play park the bus and just play counter-attack football, more like how things are being done now for West Ham. Consume whatever they're bringing to you and then just unleash those players. Obviously, it's going to need some pinpoint passing from a Tebogo Mkwena or from a Mshishi Zwane. So we'll have to wait and see how things are going to be when Bafana goes there. But Hugo Broos complained about a lot of things. I don't know if it's old age home tendencies or what, but the guy's literally complained about everything ever since he came to this country. Now he's complained that he wanted PSL to end on the 24th of December. Now the boys who will have their last matches on the 30th or the 31st of December, he'll have to give them some off days, meaning that the squad will only gather on the 4th of Jan or on the 5th of Jan, and the tournament is starting on the 13th of January. So meaning a maximum of, let's say, 2 weeks together as a squad. And at this point in time, as South Africans, we're just living in hope. And obviously, I don't think there's a South African who thinks that Hugo Broos and Bafana will win the tournament. But if they do, we will definitely celebrate. Good luck to everyone who's been picked. We are behind you. The same energy we gave to the Springboks is the same energy we should give to the soccer and our soccer national team. Well, if you're seeing my face in this content for the first time, make sure to hit that like button. Do give your comment as to what you think about the final 23. Who did you think was supposed to be in the squad? I mean, there was also a shout. I know he was not in the 50 professional squad. The guy who plays for Polokwane FC, Fagri Lakay, there was a shout for him as to why he's not even there. Isn't Fagri Lakay better than Elipasa, better than Makopa? We'll have to wait and see what this squad will do going into this tournament. Good luck, and we hope for the best.